Welcome back, folks, to the Let's Play of the Kerbal space program. Today, we are going to be doing what this little Kerbal is on the moon for. Standing! On the moon, that is. Last video, we managed to get something in orbit of the moon. That we did. Let us go to the LP space program. Why, I hear you ask? Because we have two flights. We have the Kikoskia, which is on the Mun itself, and the LP Pew Pew satellite. But we want something on that moon that's not a little rover. We actually want a ship, a manned vessel. And for this, we're going to have to build one. But the design that we had previously was a pretty good design. So why falter from something that works, some people would say. And I would respond, you shouldn't. So let's design ourselves a vessel that will get us to the moon. And hopefully, eventually, back. Because I have no desire to abandon whoever is on the moon to their eternal fate of being stuck forever on the moon. In that regard, I think it's time that we start designing it. The first step is always the simplest. Just building a ladder and everything. That should probably be enough. Or is it? Do we want RCS on? Do we want an SAS module? No. But we do want a battery. We do want a battery on this thing. Battery to store all the power we'll be generating. Will we be generating power? Short answer, yes. We need power generation on this thing. We also need radial mounted parachutes, because we're going to be sticking a topple top mini on top of this. Because having a topple top on the thing is fine, but when it's unfortunately just stuck on the bottom, it's just not really a good design, you know. Like stuck on the moon, middle of nowhere. We want it to be here with us now. So let's do that. Let us get it to the moon. For that we need some solar panels. And some lights. Not falling for the same problem I had before with lights, just in case we land on the dark side of the moon. We need lights on this thing. So that is a good first stage. A final stage, that is. It's good. It will do the job. It will do the job. But we need to get it there first. And that is where the issues come. We do this. We move this up slightly. We better save this as the Munlander with topple. I actually want to see if I can get a satellite here as well, so I might try and stick a satellite on this thing as well. Probably on top of the topple top. Now it's getting, it'll be getting really silly. So, we have a first stage, which is just a small engine, and I think we'll stick an SAS module on this one, and a nuclear engine, because the nuclear engines we found are extremely versatile in space. Okay, that's fine, and we want some winglets on it, because without winglets, this thing is extremely unstable. Winglets help with everything. Those are some very big winglets, perhaps smaller ones. There we go. That'll do for that, and another decoupler. Now this is where it starts getting a bit silly. Decoupler here, and we move a bit further up. You'll notice this vessel is getting remarkably long. It's also about to get remarkably big as well. So we're going to stick some big engines on the bottom. I know how I'm doing it is not efficient. When I'm burning up, leaving the atmosphere, it's not efficient. No. But who said anything about efficiency here? I'm trying to get to the Mun. And if I can get there with all the stuff that's here, it's a good way to do it. it's possible. And in my way, I'm sort of brute forcing it. And yes, dual decouplers are not necessarily great either. But again, it works, and it works quite safely too. So, like that. Get a few more on here. You'll notice I have the general same, like, design here. This bottom part is to get us out of the orbit. Just get us into orbit, and if possible, you know, a little bit of the way. Sometimes, depending upon the launch can go very well, and I can have lots of spare fuel, and I use the fuel to get a significant portion of the way to the Mun, or wherever else I'm going to go. If this design's good, folks, why not take it most of the way? Why not go further than the Mun? It's the dream of every space program, to come up with a system, with a design that is so multi-purpose and useful that with only a small amount of alteration it can be used to go anywhere. We do need oh, that one's a little bit off. We do need space tape. We do need quite a lot of space tape for this, as it's not exactly going to be stable. It's not going to be stable when we get to certain points either. It's not going to be stable here. This, for all intents and purposes, is done. Like, the ship is done. We could take this ship and take it to the Mun, but we're not done yet. The ship is not done because we still have a topple top to put on top of this. And before I had like a decoupler, a clampatron on this, I'm not going to stick a clampatron on it because I don't need a clampatron. We just need a tiny little decoupler like that, which will make us a thing for. Stick that on there. Right, now, we all know how to make a topple top. This is the topple top mini now, by the way, because I've made a larger version of the topple top in my own thing, and that's called the topple top. So this is now the topple top mini, because it's small. It's a very small little, fiddly little machine, is the topple top. So, nope, come on. There we go. No, I want to turn this off. Otherwise, I'm going to be here forever. Well, that seems pretty good. Trying to make it level. That worked. Wheels next, I think. The topple top will become a separate part of the ship entirely, so... There we go. One wheel. And the glorious part about the build is it doesn't matter which way it is orientated. Oh, come on. Almost. Is that level? It's level enough. Oh, no, not picking that up. You notice I took the shielded solar panels this time round. Yeah, I'm not having happen again what's happened previously with various launches I've done, where I've got so far, and then the lights fell off. Like, the solar panels come off, and once the solar panels have come off, you're just doomed. I mean, you might as well just launch again. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's good. Right. We're not done yet, though. We still need a battery. This way around. We can snap it now. And we still need 2 solar panels. Yes, the extremely light, flimsy ones that we do not angle snap. Because we need these to fit like that. It's not exactly stable, but then again, when has anything I've ever built been stable? Now, I have a theory. Can I stick on top of the battery? I could put another decoupler on top of the topple top. Is that even a smart idea? Or is it more sensible that instead I remove this and instead put on a Clampatron Junior? Like maybe here. Now we're getting into very odd territory. It's not something I'm very used to doing it like this. But it is probably the best way to get this thing up there, isn't it? I'm going to have a massive pot, or like a massive, like, spaceship part. Literally stuck to the side of my ship. Yeah, this is going to make taking off with this thing complicated. But when have I ever done things simply, eh? I think you know the answer to that is never, right? Never has anything I've ever done been simple. So I literally have only 2 solar panels, that's fine. I need the long one. Oh dear. Like, it's so... The design thing's getting so confused that it's unable to, properly figure out exactly what I'm doing here. But pretty much, I'm designing an all-inclusive mud launcher here. I want to have everything. I want to do one trip that can launch a satellite. I can launch a satellite, land a ship, and drop a rover. It sounds silly. That's because it probably is. But I'm odd like that, just trying many different things. This is probably woefully inefficient. But if you don't try these things out, folks, you'll never figure out if it works or not. And if this does work, then I could use this as a springboard for other designs in the future. Right. So, there we go. 2 solar panels, landing gear, a topple top mini on the top. And let's now zoom out and have a look at the majesty. It's quite magnificent, isn't it? So, what we're going to do is I'm going to save, and I'll join you on the landing pad, because what's probably going to happen is this thing will crash out. So, be back. Jebediah Kerman is once again back in the driving seat. We'll activate SAS. Prepare the throttle. Let's see if this thing can take off. Yes! And would you believe it, with a satellite stuck on it, it's not really that wobbly, is it? You know, I was expecting it to be much worse than it is right now. I mean, look at this. This is perfectly passable. Albeit it's spinning ridiculously, but, you know, what can you do? What can you do? It's spinning a lot, actually. It's spinning a lot. Will you stop spinning, please? No, it doesn't want to stop spinning. This is going to cause some issues. I'm going to try and... TS, SAS, SAS! Activate! Oh dear word, look at it! It's spinning like a top. Would you believe Jebediah survived? I think it's time to decouple this. Bye-bye, Topple Top Mini! You did well. Look at all that debris, folks! Look at it all! Unparalleled failure, this one was. Well, if there's something to be learned from this, I need a stage in between here to decouple. And, yeah. Let's check to see if the parachutes work. Look at all this debris that's just going to fly everywhere. Oh well. Time to check the parachutes out. The answer is... the parachutes work perfectly. So if anything... we're okay. Boom! Jebediah has lived! That was a close call, Jeb. So, since you survived, we'll end the flight. And go back to the vehicle assembly station, because that did not work. Not going to lie here. That just didn't work, did it? There were some issues that needs to be dealt with. So we'll just move this ladder slightly. This one a little further up. And what one's that one? Personally, I think if I just accelerate slower, I'll probably be alright. Bit slower acceleration, maybe. Hopefully this thing won't crash once I've loaded in like that. No, it doesn't look like it's going to. Yeah, there we go. Bit slower, maybe, on the up. Like this, maybe. Oh! Oh! I've not stuck space tape around the bottom part. I'm being a nincompoop. No wonder it's spun wildly out of control. I've not put space tape here. There we go! Much better! Ah! And I thought my design was completely and utterly flawed. Clearly some small little metal pylons is all I require. Bingo! Now it's fine. Come on, Jeb. We're going to get you to the mun. Okay, it's wobbling slightly, but who cares? Now, it's going to be absolutely fine and it's not going to spin. Because I've stuck space tape on. And so the gravitational forces aren't trying to rip the darn thing apart. Look! No spin at all! An amazing success. Okay, very slight spin. But very slight spin is much better than wildly out of control spin. Or tail spin. Well, that was a pretty good television show. Come on! It's spinning very slightly. I can deal with slight spin. When we get to about 8,000. Deactivate this, yes, and make a turn. Kikoskia! Randomly clutching rocket science! Hopefully burning up out of the atmosphere is not going to cause me any significant issues. Like things dropping off. That would suck. Come on! We can get out. See, it's fine. And blast off! Yes, we're spinning now. However, if I deactivate and reactivate SAS, it will stop spinning. As much, anyway. So, 110,000, and boom! There we go. We have most of this fuel here. So, let's fast forward until we have about 2 minutes to go. Which is here. And we shall use a tiny bit of thrust so that we can turn. The most efficient way for us to do this is to get to that 90 degrees mark there. Which is what I'm going to do. See, we've managed to get a satellite and a topple top mini there. So, activate the SAS here. And we start thrusting wildly. You can see our orbit is widening in both directions. That is the efficient way to do it. I do know something about this game. Not much, but what I know is that I now must extract these solar panels. As if I don't, we could run out of power. And I really don't want to run out of power. Look at that! It's like I know what I'm doing! That orbit is widening ridiculously. And both ways, too. And it's pretty flat as well. Would you believe it? There's the Kiko topple top there. We nearly have an orbit. In fact, we have an orbit. In fact, we're going to keep thrusting. Why? Because we gotta! Actually, no, because this is all spare fuel anyway, and we can use it to get a significant amount of the way there. 11.4 million. Periapsis and apoapsis there of 2 million. We still have some fuel left in this thing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoa, 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 whoa! Look at that. Okay, it eventually rockets us completely out of the planet, but hey, let's get rid of this step here. Don't need it anymore. End the flight. And since I know it crashes out when I'm trying to go back to a flight in progress, oh, I entered the vehicle assembly part by mistake. So, I'll be back once I'm back with our main ship.